Go ahead.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Speaking of working with difficult directors, since you both work with Fulci in different movies, how would you describe working with him as a professional and on a personal level?
Who wants to go first? Shall I go first? You? Okay. Well, I think everybody perhaps had their own relationship with Lucio. Do you agree with that? It was quite, from my point of view, there were some difficult moments, that's for sure, but it was maybe, there was things like in the coffin, I was supposed to be playing dead with the rose in my hand. I love this sequence now. It's a very atmospheric, poetic sequence. But to film it was really difficult. I told the story yesterday, in fact, because I found it very difficult with the camera on me, everybody in the studio, you know, waiting for me to play dead, and my eyelids started to tremble, and Lucio got pretty cross because he couldn't understand why my eyelids were trembling, and it was completely beyond my control. It was a nervous reaction, and it was also, you know, a little bit disturbing being in a coffin, for goodness sake. And anyway, so he dragged me out of the coffin, and he got in, and he did it perfectly. So he said, just do it like that. So there was that moment, and there was the other moment with the worms in City of the Living Dead. That was a very unpleasant moment. But apart from those several moments, he was pretty good with me personally, because he had chosen me. I think I was doing what he wanted me to do, because he didn't direct a lot, did he? He didn't sort of give a lot of directions, but if you weren't doing it as he wanted, then he would probably get cross. No?
That's it.
And on a personal level, he wasn't somebody that you madly socialized with. Also, you know, the days were long and everybody went back to their home or their hotel. But I did have the honor, I suppose, to sort of have dinner with him on a few occasions with a couple of other people, and he was always incredibly interesting and was a big intellectual. Do you agree? Yeah. And you know, as long as he respected you, the relationship was professional and interesting and good, without a lot of dialogue, I would say. So from my point of view, it was a good relationship. Yeah.
Instead from the children's point of view.
Because you were a child.
I was a child. We saw him, as I told yesterday, as a teacher, but we didn't ask anything. We just tried to follow his directions and say, do this, do that, and we just did. I just remember once when I had to hold Giovanni's hand during a scene, and I was very shy, I didn't want to take his hand. You know, and he said, you have to take even out, when you're out of the scene, stay there with his hand in. You have to be like fiancé if you don't want to. But I stay like that all the time, okay? But
were you scared of him, Lucio? Were you, as a child, were you scared of him? Or?
No, we were not scared.
No, he was...
I know that he had a very good reputation. He considered lots as children.
Yes, he did. I remember.
Yes, I knew after Antonella Fulci, his daughter, told me that he really appreciated my job, and of course of Giovanni as well, because he was very good. So that's why he called me for another movie, Murder.
Yes.
And at the time I was 12 years old, and I had to be a disabled girl in a wheelchair, and he told me, do whatever you want, you must be a mean girl, and with problems, you see, and say what you want. So I started being it. I dared, and he said it was very good, and so I'm happy even now thinking about it. So
no, I think if you were professional and you acted well, then
demanding.
Yeah, very demanding, but he respected
one
when one was being professional and a good performance, don't you think? Yeah.
Yes.
He had no reason really to be cross.
He has not very good reputation.
No, that's
but
true.
With us, as far as I'm concerned, I can say it was a little bit. It was demanding, but it goes.
And I think
okay.
he was also very demanding of the crew, even though he surrounded himself by people who often worked with him. But he was demanding, yeah, that's for sure. But there's a documentary that Mike Baronis made, I don't know if you saw it, and it's different people in the crew and actors that worked with him, and they have very different stories to tell. Some are very positive about Lucio, which like I tend to be, regarding myself, but other people had sort of terrible experiences.
Luckily we're not in.
Yes, we're not part of that, yeah. So, a bit of everything.